Hello, hello, everybody. So let's get started with our Monday session. So, as usual, before we start, allow yourself a little stretch, and making sure to be very present with all of your movements as you're stretching your body, just as a way to become more present, more centered into yourself, and finding a comfortable position to sit, preferably with your feet on the floor. And then as you breathe normally, comfortably, relaxed, we are going to first bring our attention, our focus into our hearts. So let's bring our awareness into the middle of our chest. And if that helps, you can place one of your hands in the middle of your chest. And then tune in a little bit more into sensing or hearing the sensations or the sounds of your heart beating in your chest. Focusing on the area of your heart in the middle of your chest. Noticing the sounds or sensations of your heart beating. And then imagining or visualizing as if your breath is flowing in and out directly through your heart. You keep breathing normally through your nose, but you just imagine as if your breath is flowing in and out through your chest, through your heart area. And as you do this, slowly but surely, start to breathe a little slower and deeper than you usually do. Trying to find a rhythm that is comfortable and also steady, regular. A harmonious rhythm when your in-breath and your out-breath are about the same length. And once you find a comfortable rhythm for you, just keep breathing in and out, visualizing your breath flowing in and out through your chest in that slow, steady rhythm. And we'll do that for 2 minutes together before moving to the next part. Okay, and now you might start to feel already a little bit more calm and quiet into your mind. We're gonna start our contemplations, and we're gonna start by reminding ourselves of the direction we aim to have for our future. So remind yourself either of the vision that you have for your life, if you're clear on that, or else bring to mind the goals or projects that are closer to you in time, but that are equally important. So what is the direction that you're moving towards at the moment, that you want to move towards at least? And once you have that clear, once you're clear about the direction, now we're going to briefly review what happened for us last week. So then we can compare whether what we are already doing is on track or in the right direction that we desire, or if it needs adjustments. So for now, just imagine that you can elevate yourself above your timeline, as if you could have a bird's eye view on all of the events that happened last week, everything that you did, that all the connections, relationships that you have, and just notice what's working and what's not working as much as you want. So just imagine as if you can have a bird's eye view on the whole of last week, and notice in the areas of your life that are important to you right now, what's already working well, what seems to be already on track with the direction that you wish to have, and notice what's not working as much as you want. And you may also notice sometimes things might appear as if they're working when you got the results and the outcomes that you want. But also notice if the journey that takes you to the result is equally satisfying, or if maybe the journey is not fulfilling or not in the flow. And also notice the reverse situation, that sometimes we might think things are not working because we don't get the result, but still the process was actually in the flow and very aligned with how we want our life to unfold. So pay attention to these details. And we'll keep reviewing last week for another minute or two in silence. Okay, and now just ask yourself, just ponder on this question. If last week, or a version of last week, was to repeat itself into the future, do you have a sense that it would bring you closer to your goals and your vision? Or would that be off track? So just getting a sense whether there is alignment already between what you're already doing and where you want to be in the future, or if there would need some adjustments. And maybe if last week was repeating itself, it would point in the right direction, but maybe it's not moving. Maybe it's not moving enough, fast enough. Maybe things are to a stall. So maybe it's not the alignment, but it's the pace that needs adjustments. Or maybe it's just the direction is not, it's not pointing in the right way. So once you've made note of this, now we are gonna work on adjusting the pace and trajectory so that it points out to the direction that you want. And to do that, we're going to use our imagination, and we're going to imagine the best possible version of the week that is starting today. We're going to imagine a version of the week where things are in the flow, moving, and moving in the right direction, moving in a way that's aligned with the vision you have for your future. And for that, we're going to start by imagining ourselves first. Imagining ourselves when we're at our best, when we're full of energy, when we're full of ideas, creative, when we're making decisions with ease and we're implementing, we are taking action with excitement and motivation. So when we're in such a flow state, what happens? What would the week look like, sound like, and feel like if we were in the flow all the time? What would we create? What would we generate? What would we achieve? What impact do we have around us? So take a moment to imagine yourself and imagine what happens when you're in your best flow. And as you imagine yourself at your best and imagining the results during the week, of course, you're noticing that you're not on your own and you're impacting and interacting with other people. So allow your imagination to visualize what are the best possible connections and the best influence and impact that you can have with and on people around you. As if you're instigating a flow that is contagious and that spreads out to the people in your life. the people you know and love, your friends and family, but even beyond that circle, the people you work with, your co-workers, colleagues, or your clients, but also the people you meet in your life that you don't know personally, as in maybe people in the shops, in public transports, random people in the street. When you're at your best, what impact, what influence does your energy has on the people that you come across in your life? Sometimes even just a smile to a stranger might be having a much impactful, beneficial influence that you will ever know. So what does your week look like, sounds like, and feels like as your energy spreads out and positively influences the people around you? And here you can imagine, even if you don't know the specifics of it, you can imagine this wave of positivity moving through layers of people, and how you influence them and how they in turn influence people around them, etc., etc. Spreading that wave of positivity way beyond the circle of people that you interact with in real life. So just get a sense of how far the wave of positivity that you generate is able to spread from person to person and have a ripple effect of positive influence, how it creates possibilities for everyone along the way. And so that now you can start imagining how this wave of positivity might possibly come back in unexpected ways into your life. So you may imagine unexpected surprises, opportunities, new doors opening for you in your life that may look or sound random or out of the blue, but that really are as a result of this cascade of positive influence that you contributed to generate into the world, into the field, into the universe. So just imagine what would constitute great news, great opportunities, interesting possibilities entering your experience this week. What could it look like, sound like, feel like? So let's allow ourselves another minute to imagine those surprises, opportunities, possibilities coming our way into our life. this week. Okay. And now I just want us to remember that as great as our imagination may be, it is still a little bit limited by what we already know. So now we're going to set an intention that we will welcome opportunities and possibilities into our life experience, even if they might look very, very different from what we've imagined so far and what we expect them to possibly look like. Indeed, there are endless, infinite possibilities out there, a lot of them that we are not able to imagine yet based on our life experiences. So let's agree with ourselves that when we come across such possibilities that are very different, that we were not able to fathom up until now, let's agree that we will recognize them for what they are, and we will also welcome them into our experience. So let's make that agreement with ourselves. That way we are opening up to receive beyond what we think is possible. And we are also detaching from trying to control how things should look like, how what's best for us and everyone involved might or should be, sound, or look like. That way, we're surrendering as well to the highest good for everyone involved. We are setting a clear intention, but we are also open and in full openness and surrender mode, as we might not even fully know what's even best for us right now. So we set the direction, but we also allow ourselves to be open. Okay, and once we've done that, now let's bring our awareness onto how we feel. Let's just notice how this feels once we've opened ourselves up, imagining best possible outcomes. How does it feel? And remember, our mind doesn't really know the difference between real or imagined. So let's notice how this visualization, this imagination, is making our body, our whole body, feel. It might be a familiar feeling, or it might be some sensations you don't quite know how to call them, but you can feel them in your body. And whatever they are, we're just going to nurture them and make them stronger within ourselves. So I'm going to invite you now to imagine as if these sensations, these feelings, You can bring them into yourself when you breathe in, and you can radiate them out from your heart when you breathe out. Just visualize, imagine, or feel with each breath that these sensations flow into yourself on your in breath and radiate out of yourself when you breathe out. So on your in breath, you're tuning in a little bit more strongly. You're feeling these sensations more intensely inside of yourself, as if you're tuning all of your cells to those sensations. And then on your out breath, you're radiating them out into the space right in front of you and around you. And with each cycle of breath, these feelings and sensations get stronger and stronger. On your in breath, bring them into yourself, and on your out breath, radiate them out into the space around you and in front of you. And with each cycle of breath, you're able to do that with more and more power and intensity, to the point that in just a couple more breaths, this will be so intense that this energy shooting out from your heart will be as strong as a laser beam. A few more breaths, and these sensations shooting out from your heart are radiating such a strong energy that, like a laser, it is literally carving out a portal right in front of you, into the space right in front of you. Like this laser beam of highly focused heart energy is literally opening up a space in front of you, a doorway, a pathway. And you can see that portal opening in front of you. And you know that on the other side of this portal is a different version of your reality awaiting you. On the other side of this portal is a different version of time and space that is perfectly aligned with the vision that you have for your future. So we're going to now prepare ourselves to step through the portal. So imagine in your mind's eyes that you're standing up, taking a few steps, putting one foot through the portal and the other foot through the portal, and this is it. You are now standing on the other side of the portal. As you do this, you're noticing that the portal is closing behind you, and with it, the path from the past has just dissolved. Nothing is keeping you attached to the past now. It's only you and the path opening forward into this new version of time and space, this new version of reality that is aligned with your vision, with your goals. So give yourself a moment to connect with this new reality, taking slow deep breath And with each in-breath, embracing as if you're breathing in new, fresh air that contains all possibilities that you imagine and all possibilities that you allowed yourself the possibility to welcome in your life. Every time you breathe in, just connect with these possibilities. And breathing out, gratitude. Gratitude for this being your new reality. And to make sure that we're fully anchored in this new reality for ourselves, we're going to create an anchor that will help us anchor ourselves in this reality now, and that we'll be able to use whenever we need it during the week to re-anchor ourselves onto this path when we need it. So to create this anchor, it's very easy. Just bring your thumb and index finger together on your right hand and press your fingers together. And notice the sensations of pressure between your fingers. All of your focus onto this point of pressure. Okay, and now do the same with your left hand. Thumb and index finger together. Noticing the pressure between your fingers and all of your attention focused on this point of pressure. And now do it on both sides simultaneously. Noticing the point of pressure between the fingers of your right and left hand together. And this time bringing all of your attention to find the point of pressure that is the same on both sides. Finding a point of perfect symmetry, perfect equilibrium between your two hands, the pressure in your fingers from both hands. And as you do this, your mind has no choice but to be 100% focused on finding that point. As your mind is 100% present, it has no choice but to release all grip from the past. It has no choice but to unlearn and detach from all residue from the past that may not serve you anymore. So keep your focus on these points of pressure, and your mind is 100% present and has no choice but to fully accept that you are now on this new version of reality. You're now on this new path, aligned with possibilities, connected to possibilities that are supporting your vision and your goals. Okay. So as you hold your fingers together on that point of equilibrium, just know that at any time during the week, when you need it, all you will need to do is join your fingers together again, finding that point of pressure, and instantly your mind, your body, your psyche will be back in alignment with this version of your life. a version that's aligned with the direction that you want to have for your future. A direction that's in your highest good and in the highest good of everyone involved. So now when you're ready, you can release your anchor. And we're going to bring ourselves back in the here and now, in the new here and now. So rub your hands together until they're warm. Bring them at the top of your head. And from here, let's touch every part of our body as if we want to remind ourselves of the boundaries of our physical body. Starting with our face and head, then our neck and shoulders and our arms, and head down to the front of our body, torso, abdomen, also the sides of our body from under the armpits underneath, all the way down to our hips, touching as much as possible our back from the top of our spine all the way down. And then from our hips again to our thighs and knees and lower legs and feet. And here, if you can touch your feet is great, but if you cannot, just press your feet into the floor as a way to connect with the earth and ground yourself, ground your energy into the earth. And thanking the earth for allowing our experience on this plane of existence. Okay, and on these words of gratitude to the earth, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for attending or listening to the recording later on. And I wish you a beautiful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.